apron. I made this apron about probably 10 years ago when roosters was kind of like a big thing, you know? And so I just kind of need, hold on. Oh, I got a package. I love the mailman. Let's see what we have. Oh, this is what I order. Okay, I order all my fabric from Etsy. And this one finally came, you know, with all the shipping delays. I had to wait a long time. Nothing towards the Etsy shop. So let's see what kind of fabric we have here. This is from Judy's Fab Stash. I've been waiting for this fabric. This one is a Riley Blake. It's perfect for the new year. It's like a fresh, calming, springy. This one is called Splendor by Jen Allison for Riley Blake. Oh, I forgot about this. I love this floral too. Ooh, this is a Free Spirit fabric, Adelaide Grove. Ooh, this one will be great for my surgical hats. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this. This one is it's by Dear Stella. Oh, I'm gonna do some wonderful things with this. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna use this for my apron that we're gonna make today. I mean, the timing couldn't be perfect, right? It's just water. Okay, so what we're going to need for this apron is we're actually going to need 2 yards of fabric because we're gonna need one for the front and then one for the back. Over there. It's just a basic apron, and I'm gonna actually do 2 pockets and an adjustable area that goes around the neck. So we're going to make a casing. It's just gonna be one long strap that goes up here, around here, over here, ties in the back, and then comes and ties in the front. Okay, so just like this one, it's gonna be reversible. We're gonna have a front fabric, a back fabric. We're gonna need a strap, and we're gonna need fabric for the pocket. So I'm gonna make 2 pockets for mine. I'm gonna throw that over there for a minute.
You're going to need about 2 yards for the main apron, 1/4 of a yard for the strap. You'll also need pinking shears, a sewing gauge, safety pin for the strap, a turning tool for the strap, and some tape measure. Right here you can see that I have folded the fabric, and we're measuring out the width to be 12 1/4 inches. So when you unfold it, it's going to be 24 1/2 inches. Now just go ahead and pin it in place, and I'm sorry that you can actually hear my daughter yelling "Mom" in the background. The height of the apron is going to be 29 1/2 inches, so right now I'm just marking it with a pencil. You're also going to want to place your coordinating fabric underneath that so that you can cut them both at the same time. I just don't have mine showing because I completely forgot that I needed a back fabric. Now you're going to measure in 5 inches from the fold and mark it with your pencil, and then you are going to measure up 20 inches and mark it with your pencil. Now, if you want to cut it straight, you can, but I feel like I'm a pretty good swooper, so I'm just going to swoop it. I really shouldn't even have mentioned anything about the swoop. Now I feel like the swoop is not going to turn out, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. That's a pretty nice swoop. Remember to clip the curves if you did not use pinking shears. Right here we are marking where our casing is going to go. So 1 1/4 inch away from the edge. Just mark it with your pencil. Moving on to the pockets, you are going to cut 2 pieces, 7 by 14 inches. Take 1 piece of fabric, Fold it in half, right sides together, and sew all 3 sides. Make sure to leave an opening so that you can turn the right sides out. Make sure that the corners are nice and pointy because these are our pockets. And sometimes I'll even take a little needle and carefully poke out the corners to get them nice and crisp. Repeat this with the second pocket and then iron them down really nice. And we're going to put a stitch line in it to make it look more like a pocket. I'm marking a stitch line 1 inch from the edge, and I'm just going to run that through the machine, and then we're going to work on the placement of our pockets. On my apron, I decided to pin them 1.5 inches from the bottom and 2.5 inches on the sides. Make sure you kind of mess around with the pocket placement. You don't want them to be too low on your apron or too high. And I don't want to be responsible for a misplaced pocket. Now you're just going to top stitch the pocket onto the apron and make sure that you back stitch on the edges. Now we are going to work on the straps. You are going to cut them 2 inches wide, and we need 110 inches. Now we're going to attach the strips together to make one big long strap. And after that, we're just going to fold the right sides together and run it through the machine using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. As I get to that seam, I just flatten it to reduce any bulk when I put it through the machine. And then when you get to the end, you're just going to sew that opening shut, so you'll see. Okay, this next step is really tricky, so I'm going to wish you luck and hopefully you can get this to work. So I just take my crochet hook and see, I just kind of wrap it around and pull it through, but the beginning is the hardest part. So this looks really easy in the video, but it is kind of tricky, but don't give up because it gets really easy once you get it started. And for some odd reason, this part recorded in slow-mo. So here we go. So that was like a victory. Now we're going to iron our strap. It's going to take a little bit longer, but we're going to iron it and then we're going to put it through the machine to sew down that seam. And this just keeps the strap nice and flat. The other end of the strap has a raw edge, so make sure you finish that raw edge. Now we are sewing the apron front to the back with the right sides together, and remember to stop and leave an opening. Remember we marked those in the beginning, and make sure that you back stitch. And then you're going to leave a 2.5 inch opening so that we can turn the right sides out. And this is the part that you watch me struggle. Once the struggling is over with, we're going to go ahead and iron it. We're preparing it for the top stitch, so make sure that you iron the edges, focus on the edges, and just get them really crisp and nice. Now we're just going to do a top stitch. You can even address your stitch length to 3 inches. And just stitch all around the apron as close to the edge as you can, depending on your preference. Now we are going to mark the swoop area. This is the area where our straps are going to go through, and you're going to mark it 1 inch because we're going to make a casing. You can barely see my marks, but they are there. And just go ahead and sew down, and we're sewing down 1 inch from the edge.
Okay, so now you're going to take your safety pin and put it on your strap, and we're going to put the strap through the casing. I actually already started, so you're gonna start right here and feed your strap through. So mine is right here, and then come over and feed this through. I'm just taking it like okay, so yeah, you just feed it through those two straps. For the final reveal, put it through like this, like that. Let me give you a better angle. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love it.